Hello, everyone. Another jam-packed show on the Dr. James McConnell Show. Oh my goodness, we have a big show. We got Tramel Henry in Fort Lauderdale. We have Miss Carla in Buffalo, New York. We have Dr. James in Dallas, Texas. Oh my goodness. The world news topic. We're going to get into rowing in the Atlantic Ocean. Let's get this party started now. Yeah, we're here. The Dr. James McConnell Show with co-hosts Carla Murphy and Tramel Henry. Miss Carla's all the way from Buffalo, New York. Mr. Henry, where are you today?
Today, I believe I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Okay, so I think last week you were in Orlando, right?
Yes, sir. Last week I was in Orlando.
Where you
Fort Lauderdale today.
where you keeping all that sun then? So I see that you don't want to leave Florida. You're trying to keep all that sun to yourself.
Hey, my wife, my mom say the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. So you know I got to stay dipped in that sun.
I love it. I love it. So we want to start our segment here with world news, and we want to talk about rowing on the Atlantic Ocean. Tell us about that, Miss Carla.
Well, good evening to both of you. Rowing on the Atlantic Ocean. I recently read an article actually on newsforkids.net, and it was about a 21-year-old who was rowing across the Atlantic Ocean and set a record. This actually happened last Saturday, and her name is Jasmine Harrison. She's the youngest woman who rowed alone across the ocean. It took her 70 days to row across the Atlantic Ocean. She's from North Yorkshire, England. And she got the idea because it was something that she had heard about different loads of experiences that others had had, but she never had the opportunity. So this someone did it about 3 years earlier, and she wanted to take a chance and do it, and she set a record. Initially, it was done in English Harbor, Antigua. So I thought that was awesome. And you know how I feel about youngpreneurs and young people. So I chose that as a topic, a 21-year-old. That's an amazing accomplishment.
Absolutely. So 21-year-old, and the record was what again?
The record was that she rowed alone across the Atlantic Ocean, and it took her 70 days.
70 days, man. So she has. So I wonder, when you get a record like that, I wonder, do you get any money once you set a record? How does that work? Do you know anything about that? Are they paying her?
That's impressive.
I don't know, but I knew that would be a great topic that you'd ask me about, Dr. James, is whether or not she got a financial reward. But I don't know. But I know that she got the notoriety of being the first woman to do that. And so that was a huge accomplishment to her. It didn't quite mention about any monetary compensation.
And do you know of the ethnicity of this lady? Was she Caucasian? Was she black? Was she Asian? Do you know that?
She was Caucasian.
Okay.
Caucasian.
And 21. Man, that is
21.
awesome. That's awesome. Okay, well, we like to switch gears. We want to talk about Biden calls 500,000 death toll from COVID-19.
I think Mr. Henry was kind of talking about that, right, Mr. Henry?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely, man. Hold that one sec. The topic was one more time, Doc.
Biden calls for 500,000 death toll from COVID-19.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Forgive me. Listen, it's such a sad topic that, all of us Americans had hobbled over 500,000 death tolls of COVID-19. I mean, it's just tragic in every way that's possible, any way you could think about it. And it's still in counting and going on. And, by the grace of God, I hope that we can get a control over it and we could just cut it in half and stop it and just, seize it all together. But at this point in time right now, that topic came up through the world news because it's shocking. As you stand right now today, I believe what I've read before, it was like 1 out of 672 Americans or 75 Americans is going to die from it or has died from it and
Right.
continuing. So by the grace of God, man, let's just pray that they got this thing under control and we can just make it reverse.
That's what I'm praying on too. I'm hoping that this can change. Maybe I'm assuming with the vaccines going to the older people, those are definitely are the ones that really want to take it first. But I've been hearing some things about your blood type. Like if you're A negative, B negative, if you're O or something like that, you're less likely to get it. Did you hear something? I think the O type was the one. If hopefully I'm saying that right, the O type was less likely to get it. Did you hear anything about that, guys?
I'm sorry, I haven't heard anything about the types, but it's shocking to see and know that it's over 500,000 people.
Yeah, that's a lot. So it makes me always, for some reason, every day I'm always touching my face and making sure I don't have a fever, and then I'm always making sure I'm breathing right. And I mean, I don't know. It's just, I guess, because it's so scary. Now, when that storm came, that ice storm, believe it or not, I nearly forgot about COVID. And I was it's so funny where you don't even think about it when there's another crisis. But
Yeah.
but right after it was over, right now I'm back to worrying about it. And sometimes at night I go in to my kid's room, I touch my daughter's face, I go touch my son's face. Sometimes my other daughter, she have touching her face. I just, they'll be sleeping, they don't even know it. I go in there and rub them. Sometimes they'll wake up and say, "Are you feeling okay?" And they say, "Yeah." I say, "So you're not having a hard time breathing, are you?" "No." "Okay, you sure?" "Yeah." And I tend to do that every other day. Most people don't even think of stuff like that, but I do it because you always want to keep your kids safe, and then you want to keep yourself safe because you want to be here to see them grow and do so many great things.
Well,
Absolutely.
Dr. James, I
I
believe
agree
that
with that.
one reason you probably weren't so concerned is because you were already in isolation. And so you knew the people coming and going, you were less likely to be at risk of
Oh,
getting the virus while you were stuck home.
right, right. Okay. So let's switch gears. And this is going to be a good one here, guys. This is the mystery of India's Lake of Skeletons. Okay. And if you
Oh,
guys had looked at it, I want y'all to kind of Google it while I'm talking. The mystery of India's Lake of Skeletons. So the remains are strewed around and beneath the ice at the Lake of Skeletons, discovered by a patrolling British forest ranger in 1942. Depending on the season and the weather, the lake, which remains frozen for most of the year, expands and shrinks. Only when the snow melts are the skeletons visible, sometimes with flesh attached and well preserved. That sounds so scary. Uh, Rupkund Lake is located 5,029 meters above sea level at the bottom of a steep slope on Trussel, one of India's highest mountains in the state of Uttarakhand. Hope I'm saying that right. So, so to date, the skeletons remains of an estimated 600 to 800 people have been found here. In tourism promotions, the local government describes it as a mystery lake. For more than half of a century, anthropologists and scientists have studied the remains and puzzled over a host of questions. Who were these people? When did they die? How did they die? where did they come from? So that story right there kind of puzzles me, because as it pertains to like the Titanic or something, what, on that boat, and maybe, in the oceans, there's going to be skeletons and people that kind of went down, but that mystery, they can't tell you where they came from, how they died, or anything. And 600 to 800 people. So, I mean, where did they come from? I mean, have y'all heard of anything like that before?
No, it seems like it's new as I was researching it, from 8 to 24 hours that they've just been reporting on this. And it's very, very interesting. Over
Yeah.
1,000 years.
So, Ms. Carla, have you heard of anything like this before, where people find skeletons and don't know where they came from? I mean, I thought reading this article, I would be able to find out what happened. Do you have any take on that?
I don't, but after looking at an article on BBC News related to this subject, it mentioned that for more than half a century, anthropologists and scientists have studied the remains, and they're puzzled over where these people came from, when they died, how they died, and who they are. And so another person suggested that some of the remains may have been of Indian soldiers who tried to invade Tibet in 1841. So I don't know. This is definitely a puzzling topic, and I don't really have any more insight on that. That's mind-boggling.
Man, that is, man. Well, I like to kind of slide into one of my favorites, which is the education and self-improvement. And while we got you on here, Miss Carla, we want to get into speaking with a no, I'm sorry. We want to get into health. I'm sorry about that. We want to get into health. So talk to us about the self-improvement part, the health part of it.
Health is very important, and particularly for entrepreneurs. We obviously are always on the go. We're always moving. We're always thinking. We're trying to meet the needs of others, but it's very important to have good self-care and to make sure that we stay and have healthy lifestyles. So some things that we can do, we know to exercise, exercising daily, even if it's taking a brisk walk, is very good for you, good for the cardiovascular system. Also, eating as healthy as possible, eating the right foods, and working hard to improve what we eat and the times of day that we eat. It's also good to unplug and to do something fun, do something that's self-fulfilling, do something that's just for you, and finding routines that work best for you and stick to it, and making sure that you get enough sleep. All of those things are critically important. So it's not always all about work. You also have to have some time to play. And so it's important to do those things, whether it be something small like going to the store, shopping, or going home and polishing your nails, or even going to the movies. We know, Dr. James, you like to go to the movies. So whatever it is, it's important to make sure that it happens.
That's true. That's true. I love that. And so on that topic, Mr. Henry wanted to get into self-healing. Mr. Henry, tell us, elaborate on self-healing.
Okay. Well, just the past few, I don't know, 4 or 5 days or so, I started feeling like I wanted to know myself a little bit more and deeper than what I always know. So I've researched just a little bit, and it's called Reiki healing. Reiki healing. It's a Japanese form of healing, and actually it's a transfer of energy, right? So you could take and heal yourself with certain positions on your body. Like, let's say, I think they call it chakras, right? On your neck spot here is a circle. On your head here is a circle. These are your energy locations. Right. You could take your hand and you comp them like this, like here, and you could put them over your eyelids and have your nose showing through. And you could just keep yourself at calm if you have a headache, if your blood pressure is high, if you're stressed out. It just teaches you how to transfer all the negative energy to a location where you can then relax and find yourself at peace. Meditation is a big part of this healing. It's self-healing across the world. Everyone knows about it. They call it, it's known as Reiki, but a lot of, I I think I want to say like maybe 4 different names it has captured. I can't remember all of the 4 different names, of course, but Reiki is the number 1 name. And, you know, we internalize it as, Buddhism, health, and they internalize it also as a form of Christianity, healing as well. It's just interesting, and it caught my attention.
Well, I would like to ask you something about, I heard you talk about negative energy, but before I ask you that question, I want us to take a commercial break, and I'll ask you that question next.
Yeah.
Need credit repair? Then contact our professional and friendly team to learn more about our range of custom and tailored services designed to suit your exact needs. Every one of our professionals have acquired years of experience, which ensures you get the very best. Our experienced staff are waiting to hear from you and to answer any specific questions that you may have on how we can meet your needs. Just ask for a consultation and let us prove our commitment to you, as we promise to maintain the highest level of quality and commitment. Your satisfaction is our prime concern. So please don't hesitate to get in contact with us and let us show you all the great options we have.
All right. We are back. Beautiful commercial by Tremel Henry's Credit Group, right?
Yes, sir. Platinum Credit Group.
We love it. So I want to ask you about the negative energy here. So so how do you change that negative energy? How do you change it when you get negative energy, whether it's coming from the inner you or maybe from someone else? How do you change it, Mr. Henry? I believe we have a little.
I want to tell you thank you and important to me, honestly. All day today, I hear. Can you hear me now? Is that better?
I can hear you now. Yes.
Is that better there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay.
What I do is when I have my negative energy come upon, okay, usually the energy that you perceive as negative is labeled from some sort of something. So let's just say if someone cut me off, that's labeled as frustration, and I'll be upset because of someone cut me off. If I'm driving, I'll take that and I'll notice the feeling coming on when you're about to get upset. You'll know. Right. So I'll take that and I'll mislabel it as an endearment of, these guys, they didn't know. So then once you translated that with a different label, you now can internalize how you can channel where that anger goes or that feeling goes. You can mislabel it or relabel it, and
right.
Then turn it into joy. You can turn it into a passive, like as in it's okay. It's just up to you to identify what you label something that could trigger you into getting upset. So today I've been just working on it a whole lot, trying to internalize like all of the feelings that I have labeled if I get upset about my wife or my kids or anything. And then these are things that you created all of your existence of you being an adult, a kid, or passed down to you. So you get the chance to be able to say, hey, I don't feel good about being angry about that. So let me change that label and I won't then feel angry about that.
Right.
If that makes any sense.
It does. And so my take on the negative positive energy is personally, I really try not to ever deal with negative. I'm extremely positive. I'm a glass half full person, right? Not a glass half empty. So I'm straight positive. Anytime, of course, negative things will happen. When it happened, I typically try to flip it to positive immediately, or I try to deal with the negative right then, throw it away, and focus back on the positive. So that's what I try to do as far as positive and negative. When negative energy comes, especially if it's coming from another source other than in my mind, if it's coming from another person, even family, then I nearly have the mind frame of when you step on an ant, Think of the last time, Mr. Henry or Carla, that you stepped on an ant and you looked down and said, oh my God, I stepped on an ant. Oh my God, I killed that ant. You never done it. See, I bet you can't think of not one time you started crying because you stepped on an ant. So,
I may have started crying because I ain't stepped on enough.
right. so you don't think about it. So it's just like me stepping on an ant where you don't notice it. So most of the time, whenever I see something negative or hear something, I nearly don't even. I move on so fast to where I don't even know it happened unless it's something that's really going to be bothering me.
Yeah.
How about you, Ms. Carla? How do you handle negative energy?
Well, I like to compartmentalize that energy. And I immediately start to remember the scriptures, create me a clean heart, oh God, and renew the right spirit within me. And so I try to start working on myself so that I don't channel the wrong type of energy in response to what I've heard in the meantime. So I always try to take a step back, think about it, and then react.
I like it. Okay. So I want to get into information as far as self-improvement. So I believe in, Mr. Henry, did you have something to say?
Yeah, I don't know how much time you have, Doc, but it's something that's touching my heart right now.
Go ahead.
And it's coming to me as we're talking about the negative energy topic. Okay. It's a poem that I've created earlier today, and I was just sitting as I'm driving. I have nothing else better to do.
Okay.
Right. So I'm riding around here thinking of things that are dear to me. That I got 3 sons that are beloved for me. I love them, and I want to sit and I want to recite this poem to my sons and to all of the brothers, my black brothers and sisters and anyone in general. Honestly, it's called Dear Ego.
Say it. Come on.
Dear
brother.
Ego. Dear Ego, you have surprised me. You've made me so happy. You've made me feel powerful. You've made me so much stronger. Dear Ego, I always thought of you as a good friend of mine. Dear Ego, you've always been there and by my side. You watched me smile and laugh at me when I cried. But guess what, dear Ego? I know you still reside inside. But when I ask you again, my dear Ego, my friend, if it's just time that you could just take aside and sit here next beside the other egos that I know that reside. If it's possible, Mr. Dear Ego, that you just don't come back again and let me just have my own peace within inside of me, would you answer that? Would you be able to do it? Well, guess what, Mr. Dear Ego? I came to the conclusion that you and I are no longer a fit. How about you must die in order for me to be happy? You must die in order for me to exist. You must die, dear Ego, in order for me to exist.
I love it. I love it, brother. That's what I'm talking about. We just got a poem on TV. Man, you might have to copyright that, brother.
Hey, man, I did not write that poem as in writing it.
Right.
I am literally going through things in my life where it's just time to acknowledge.
Gotcha.
It's time to acknowledge me. It's time to acknowledge everything that I stand for.
Oh man.
It's time to acknowledge.
Honest, hey man, hey, I get you.
Time to be free.
It's a touching a moment right here, man. I'm glad really that you shared this. I mean, this lets me know that, of course, there's things going on in your head that you're thinking about, whether it's filling you up with joy or you're feeling like you're getting ready to move to another section of your life that's satisfying you. I see the passion right now. I see the passion in your heart right now, man. So I'm so glad to have you being able to share that with us. So thank you, man. And like you told us on our other show, we love you.
Love you back, brother.
That's
and
what
Queen.
I'm talking about. Miss Carla, we love you.
We love you guys too.
Well, who is we, Miss Carla? Who's there with you when you say
our whole team? Our whole team.
I got it.
Our whole team.
Whole team. I love it. So yeah, I want to get into information as far as the self-improvement part. And so I always believe in learning as much as you can learn, and no matter what it is, because you can never know everything. You know, sometimes we can come across as we know a lot, and which we do, especially in our field of study or something, the things that I'm maybe like an expert in that makes me smart and that stuff. But I'm always looking to learn more things. I'm always looking to read more, to watch more video, to listen to the things you guys are saying. Mr. Henry, I even told Miss Carla yesterday, I loved how you came out with exactly what you said yesterday on the show. I thought, and then I called you, and then I told you that I thought that was powerful, right?
Man, yeah, I appreciate the acknowledgement, Doc. I mean, I just feel as if like being in a comfort zone of a safe zone that you could walk in or you could be around. It's necessary for all.
Right.
You know, peace is priceless.
Absolutely.
Priceless.
Peace is priceless. And I believe also information is priceless. And if you get all the info, and it doesn't have to be just business, but in my mind is it's all about business, because that's, I do have a passion for business. I have a passion for customers. I have a passion to grow the business, especially if you're going to live from your business. Now, if you're going to do a job and do business, you can do both. The only difference is it will cause more time constraints because you have to get off work and then do some other stuff. So it makes your day can be filled. But if you can if you can get as much information as you need for your business and for your mind frame and for self-improvement and for anything that you think is pertinent, it raises your IQ and it makes you smarter. So I just wanted to touch on that before we move on to move into our business segment, which is Ambassador Symposium. And Miss Murphy, I want to talk about speaking with a purpose. Finally, right?
All right. Speaking with a purpose, it involves passion. And we know that we have lots of examples of people speaking passionately, starting with you, Dr. James. So when it comes to speaking with purpose and speaking through passion, we let our personalities take the stage. We communicate better. People have a good understanding of who we are, what we stand for, and what we believe. And so it's always important to use inclusive language and replace the you with we and us, and to be willing to work with others. So being a storyteller is also a great way of speaking passionately and speaking with purpose. But the main thing is to convey a message clearly and concisely. So thank you for that.
Speaking with a purpose. I would love to have Tremel talk about that. Mr. Henry, can you hear me?
Oh man, but speaking for purpose?
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Speaking with purpose speaking with purpose is what we're talking. Conviction is everything. Knowing the purpose that you have in mind to speak for and to speak to, it serves a great deal of understanding. You know, people could ramble on at any given time, and the reason behind the words that you utter, many people will want to hear what you have to say if you have a strong conviction of it, if you feel passionate, if you feel like you are commanding your moment to bless the person to hear the next word that you have to say, I think is very, very important. But on the opposite end of that, which is I'm still learning, is listening.
Okay.
Listening is probably the most powerful thing you can do.
Right.
And my wife often tells me, "Oh, you just talk to hear yourself talk, and you want to hear yourself talk." And she's right, but I have a lot inside to say, but I don't listen enough.
Right.
And my next journey would be to, dude, you better tap in so you can listen better, so I could know more and how to communicate well.
Well, while you're talking, I want to get into trucking, and I want to talk about that after this commercial break.
Hello, Dr. James here, from founder and CEO of MBC Enterprises. If you want to use our investment team, just let us know. You can use us to help you get into your own business, use us to get into any kind of real estate, get you a company car, for your projects, your inventions, whatever you need. You can use our investment team to help you get started. We want to know how? Let us know. Phone number is 469-765-5327. And again, use our investment team for anything that you think you need investing in, especially businesses and more. You let us know. Phone number 469-765-5327. We're looking forward for your phone call and for your dreams of getting started. Have a great day.
All right, all right. Have a great day. We are back. Mr. Henry, talk to us about trucking.
Oh man. Okay, I've been doing trucking. I'm just gonna talk a little bit about me, but in general, I've been doing trucking about 14 years now, and it just happened so fast. It just happened so fast. But to get into the trucking game, if you had interest to get into the trucking game, you could go to one of these schools here, Smith and Solomon in New Jersey, A1 down here in Atlanta. You go to any one of these schools here, and you tell them, hey, I would love to learn. And they will definitely put you into a class. Of course, it's going to cost you probably like $3,000 to $4,000. But then if you're unemployed, you can get unemployment to put you through the school. It's a great form of making income for your family. And some people are able to gross up to $300,000. Some people are able to make $80,000 a year annually. And it's a great way of viewing the entire United States, meaning you can get a lot of experience in being somewhere where many people will never be. And that's just exposure. But I would go in great detail more, but I would just pass it over.
Okay. Well, that is awesome. Trucking, I know a lot of people that truck. Some stay on the road and some is local. So I know it's more money in being on the road. But obviously that part can be a strain on the family depending on if they're traveling with you, right?
Absolutely. You have to have, either you're going to be a single man or you have to have a strong queen by your side who can see you through the journey of entrepreneurship or taking care of your family, period. If not, then, it's devastation for the family. And at the end of the day, you don't want to go to work to break your family up, but you want to go to work to support your family. Right. And trucking provides you all of it, but you got to be a fit for it.
Right.
You have to be a fit for it if you're going over the road.
So, Ms. Carla, I want to ask you a question. So I want to get into the effect of advertisement on consumer behavior. What is your knowledge on like advertisement on the consumer? What is your, have you had a chance to maybe see the consumer as it pertains to any advertising really that you've done, maybe on social media or anything else? What type of advertisement works with them?
I think that in-person advertisement works. Obviously posting and sharing and connecting. Also, people utilize flyers. I've seen business cards or other items, ink pens. I would say also people having Zooms and people having different platforms that they use or getting together and having presentations. So I think all of it works, and also radio and television advertisements.
Awesome. That is a great answer. And so I think the effect of advertisement on consumer behavior, you have to learn from the big boys sometimes, like places like Coke and Pepsi and even Walmart. Sometimes you'll see a big billboard. How many times have you drove by one and it has a big giant Whataburger, a Whataburger there, right? And all of a sudden you
Yes.
start to get hungry. And sometimes you'll say, I want that real quick. So you kind of look and see where the exit is. You may do it, you may not.
Yes.
So some of the advertisement needs to be on the subconscious. Like one time, Ms. Carla asked me last week about posting on Instagram. And I'm kind of with her where you kind of figure, man, this posting is almost worthless. You know, like, I mean, you just posting, but you're not really getting any, nobody's clicking on, you know, sometimes they are, but the ones that are clicking on you are the ones that's trying to do business with you. So having said that, what it's really for is when you post stuff, is the subliminal thing that's going into their subconscious mind. And now, if you never try to reach out to those people, then it is worthless. But if you're going to post, trust me, people are, especially the friends that are connected with you, it's popping up across the screen. And whether it takes days, weeks, months, or even a year, they're going to keep seeing it. And what happens is if you can reach out to that person, sooner or later, hello, how are you doing? And you may not even be talking about what you posted. Hello, how's your day? And now they're open to a normal conversation. And then before you know it, they see you in a different light than maybe when they see people as scammers or anything like that. They see, hey, I've seen this guy, I've seen this woman, stuff come across the screen. This may be real. So
Yeah.
I think that's huge as it pertains to advertising. So having said that, guys, we are at the end of the show. I just want to kind of put that out there to our co-host, Ms. Carla Murphy, and our other co-host, Mr. Tremel Henry. We're so happy to have you here, guys.
Thank you, Doc. Happy to be here.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And this was a wonderful show. Thank you guys for being here. And this is the ending, I think. And you guys have anything else that you would like to say as pertains to our show? And anything else that you'd like to leave the viewers with?
Man, I would just say a prayer, you know, Lord, dear Heavenly Father, just keep us all covered with your blood and just keep us consistent with praising you in your name. Amen.
I love it. So you guys have a great rest of your day. Be blessed, and we'll see you guys next time. Same channel, same station. You guys have a great day.